And we're off and running in a new season in the Puma American Track League. Great start for Denisha Cartwright, the Division II national champion in the middle of your screen. Here comes Devin Charlton of Puma in a close finish at the line in our first race of the night. 7:97. Charlton, the World Championship semifinalist and finalist a year ago, will take the first win.
And that was unfortunate for Hasifashina Bambara, who just kind of ran out of her lane there, the Illinois State athlete, about halfway through that race. I think maybe just didn't have the timing down to clear those barriers. But great start by Devin Charlton, looking pretty relaxed about the whole thing.
It's Alicia Johnson, it's Lolo Jones in the middle of your screen, and Johnson is out very well, running smoothly and coasting home in the prelim round. We'll watch the clock on Lolo Jones as well. He was followed by Mariana Beebe of Iowa. And for Lolo Jones, it is 8:38, and that is that Masters World Indoor record. Freddie Crittenden getting out well in lane number 5. Pretty even start as he's pushed by Eric Edwards to his outside. Can Crittenden close the gap? Yes, he can. And no, they're going to say Lewis Rollins barely got him. 7:64 for Rollins, who improves 0.05 from his time in Arkansas last week. Clean start in section 2 of the men's 60-meter hurdles prelims. Good start for Puma's Damian Thomas in lane number 7. Here comes Zaza and Makanico. Tight finish. Michael Dixon was running there well in lane 3, and he's going to take it at 7:67.
That was a great finish for Dixon. You know, he's a powerful athlete, a tall guy, and he really used that size to his advantage through the second half of that race, powering through the line. Much less close race.
It is a good start for Brittany Brown running in lane number 5, pushed by Destiny Smith-Barnett to her inside. Smith-Barnett trying to close ground, and she won't have time. Brittany Brown defending the home turf, 7.2 for the win.
Great finish by her, and again, she's got such range. It's exciting to watch her run. She's got such great speed over these short distances, but you know, she has the range as well with the longer events. She was the 2019 USA champ indoors in the 300, and she was asked at the press conference if we might see her, you know, moving up to the 4 more consistently in the future, and she said, if it were up to my coach, absolutely, but you're going to have to wait till the outdoor season to see that.
A personal best in the prelim and then a win in the finals. How are we feeling?
It feels good. I feel good to come out here with the PR. Last time I ran was 7:39, so to come out here and run 7:19, come back.
And hearing your home crowd just cheering for you really loud, how does that feel?
It feels good with all the Hawkeye love and all the support I get from them, so it's a good feeling to be in this atmosphere.
Was this your 300 warm-up?
Yes. On to the 3, maybe, yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Clean start this time, and a great start out of the blocks for Brandon Carnes. Side by side with Johnson. Carnes and Lawrence Johnson pulls it off. 6:61, just 100th ahead of Miles Lewis and Brandon Carnes, second and third.
All right, Lawrence, pretty good season opener. Tell me your initial thoughts.
You know, there's a couple things we can clean up, but that's what's practice for. You know, I got a great coach, a good training group. Get back to work tomorrow, and we can clean it up for next race.
All right, congrats.
Thank you.
Starting in lane number 1 with Sam Poglich of Illinois. Lane number 2, Rachel Hickey of Illinois State. You've got Claire Pitcher of Iowa, 4:59 miler in December in lane number 3. Tiana Lestraco of Bradley is in 4. Olivia Howell of Illinois is in 5. And Ali Buchan-Nosbish of Iowa is in 6.
And Buchan-Nosbish, the Iowa athlete, is doubling back from her 9th place finish in the 600 last night, testing herself out. So she's got some of that fatigue in her legs. We'll see what she's able to do using this probably as a good workout opportunity. She comes in with a 2:06 personal best from last year's outdoor season.
A lot of talented collegiate distance running will happen tonight. Wisconsin well represented. Bradley will be well represented in these first 2 races, as Buchan-Nosbish will head to the front of the pack here, followed by Tiana Lestraco of Bradley, who ran a 600-meter personal best right here on this track, a 1:33.12 last week.
Yeah, and she's got a 2:04.94 personal best from this event back from the 2021 season. So one of the faster seeds of the group. That was a good opening lap at 30 flat. We'll expect to see them slow a little bit. Of course, that would put them right on 2 minutes, and that would be an unusual time for this group. Just over 61 seconds, 1:01.80 for that opening lap. And I think Ali Buchan-Nosbish looks really good at the moment, creating some separation here.
Yeah, really good start for her. 31.76 officially there on that second 200 at the halfway point. Starting to gap this field just a little bit. Tiana Lestraco and Olivia Howell certainly in the mix. And that field starting to come back just a little bit to our leader, Ali Buchan-Nosbish, the 4:48 miler, looking to hold off this group that is on her heels. 32.31 officially, 1:34 at 600, and just over 100 meters left for the young lady from Iowa.
Impressive given that last night she ran 1:32.9 for a 600, comes back in 1:34.1 through the 600 meter of this race, and it's going to be tight. She's being pushed now, but can she hold off the late charge by Howell?
Howell swinging to the outside, and Olivia Howell, the All-American for the Fighting Illini, will make the move at the perfect moment to take the win in heat number 1, 2:06.04, followed by Ali Buchan-Nosbish of Iowa, 2:06.59. Did a lot of the heavy lifting there early.
Back to you, Will.
Thank you, Serenity. There's Lawrence Johnson, making sure he is succinct with his thoughts, because a couple of false starts early means we are playing catch-up here at the beginning of this thing as we quickly introduce you to heat number 2 in our women's 800. From inside out, you've got Julia Nielsen and Wilma Nielsen, two very talented Swedish distance runners. Wilma Nielsen, the defending Swedish champion last summer, who was also third at the 2021 European Under-23 Championships, running 2:02.29. Bianca Stumbler of the United States is in lane number 3, semifinalist at the 400-meter hurdles at the U.S. Championships. Hannah Seagrave, running for Atlanta Track Club, is in lane number 4. Tracksmith's Mallory King from Davenport, Iowa. Iowa school record holder last year in the 800 will run in hip number 5, wearing hip 5, running in lane 5. Gemma Finch of Atlanta Track Club in 6. Olivia Baker, 5th at the U.S. Championships last summer, is in 7. And Brenna Detra from Boston, 2:01 indoor personal best for her on the outside, wearing hip 8. A very fast field and a facility record of 2:03.48 that is in danger.
Absolutely it is. And again, another athlete on the outside, Detra, doubling back from that 600 last night. She was victorious in that event. The only woman in the field to break 1:30. She ran 1:28.52 and said, this is really good practice, good warm-up for what I need to be able to do in an 800. But it is Walters at the moment to the front.
Yeah, setting the pace here, I believe, for the first half of our second section here in our women's 800.
And keep an eye on Baker. She had a fantastic season last year and comes in with a 2:33 personal indoor best from last year. So again, just kind of stalking the pace setter at the moment and looking to run a very fast season opener as they split just under 60 seconds for that opening quarter.
Walter steps aside, and it's all Olivia Baker halfway through. Brenna Detra right behind her. You've got Gemma Finch right there as well with Mallory King, the local product. 58.58 officially. Rachel Walters, the pacer, doing a great job, and Olivia Baker was 58.82. They'll hear the bell right here with 1 to go here in Iowa City, and the 5th place finisher from the U.S. Championships a year ago, Olivia Baker, looking really strong.
And 1:30 flat through 600 meters. That is a fantastic opening 6, especially this early in the season. She is continuing to extend her lead. You can see the fatigue building a little bit, but she's going to be, I think, well within striking distance of this facility record.
2:03.48. It was set 5 years ago, and Olivia Baker might demolish it, but here comes Brenna Detra to the outside. Detra with a chance, and Baker will have just enough gas left in the tank to take the win and do it in record-breaking fashion. 2:02.50, a new facility best and meet record here in Iowa.
First of all, congrats on the win, but tell me your race strategy.
Today was just about running on feel. You know, Coach told me to trust my instincts, so I got out hard, held on to the rabbit, who was my teammate, tried to keep the pace going, and then finished strong.
All right, and how do you accomplish that in practice first?
I think it's just running together, getting some work done at those paces, working up to it, and executing when we get on the track.
Congrats, Olivia.
Thank you.
All collegians in our first race, 4 trips around the track here at this beautiful facility in Iowa City. Muhammad Al-Yafi of Indian Hills in 2, Carter Oberfell of Loris, Division III All-American in 3. Northern Iowa's Drake Hansen, a 150 personal best for him outdoors last spring, wearing hip 4. Spencer Gungel of Iowa is wearing hip 5, and Ryan Schreiner, representing the Hawkeyes, a freshman running his first 800 of the season, wears hip 6.
And again, it looks like a pace setter out in the front, and maybe a bit of an issue going on with a cast on his arm there. So good to see him taking charge of this race. That's Williams. But I think in the short term, we may be throwing it down to Serenity to chat with the winner of our women's 800.
Yeah, we will hear from Serenity coming up here in just a moment. Grateful to have her trackside talking with all of our winners as the afternoon continues. As Ryan Schreiner takes over with our pacer stepping aside. Schreiner ran 49.6 for 400 meters last week. This is an opener for many of the pros. A lot of these collegiate athletes, especially the Big Ten runners, had the chance to run last week here in this facility as well. Drake Hansen of Northern Iowa taking over on the outside here at 1 to go. 122.49, 29.71 there on that last 200 for Schreiner. And as they finish up, we hear from our winner of the women's 800, Olivia Baker, standing by with Serenity.
All right, Olivia.
Indoors. Off and running, Jim Warren setting the pace on the outside. Our second and final section of the men's 800 here in Iowa City.
And again, we should mention that first section was won in 1:51.33 by Drake Hansen. Wouldn't be surprised to see some faster times in this one, especially with our pace setter out. Good opening lap of 25.19 by Warren, the pace setter.
And he's got Abrego right behind him in 25.58. Abrego, Brown, and Jasa, the NCAA Division III All-American, who ran 148.7 outdoors last May. So lots of 148 speed here in Section 2 as they come through halfway, and Warren will take a peek over his back shoulder and encourage Abrego to come join him.
And he'll get some of that home crowd encouragement. He ran his 600-meter personal best of 1:17.78 at this meet last year. He's just a sophomore. And he's being challenged now on the outside by Mike Jasa. Powerful athlete taking the lead with 1 to go.
Jasa waiting for the perfect moment to make his push. Richard Brown joining that group of 3. Now 4 there at the top. Jasa, Abrego, Brown, and Mayer running in 4th, contesting this one over the final 100 meters. But this is all Mike Jasa making a big-time move with 200 meters left, and he is going to coast home. We check the time to see if he can get close to Eric Sawinski's record. Not going to be able to beat that, but he'll beat the rest of this field here in heat number 2. 150.06, coming home in 28.55 for the win.
What a finish.
So a good opener for these middle distance men. 150 for Jasa, 152 there. You can see it for Abrego running in second, followed by Brown, Mayer, and Strong. So C.J. Allen headlines this field of men's 400-meter hurdles indoors. And a clean start for all 3 men with Allen right in front, Frost on the inside, and Pollitt on the inside in lane number 2.
Well, and again, the strange thing about this, of course, is that right here, they're going to cut in. So they run the hurdles on the outside of the track for that first 3 turns and now have to make the shift into lane 1. Allen looking incredibly strong at the moment, taking these like the pro that he is and extending that lead.
And C.J. Allen is coasting home. One barrier separating him and the finish line, and C.J. Allen will lean for the win. 48-88 is the time. C.J. Allen followed by JoJo Frost.
Now, it's obvious that that is not a normal race for indoors.
Right.
So tell me how it was for you.
I definitely generated a lot of speed at the block that I wasn't expecting. That was my biggest stutter step. Everything else was surprisingly smooth, and I thought it was going to be a mess today. Yeah, my stride pattern seemed to plug, even though I had no idea, right, like what the distance was between hurdles. But it felt good. I felt strong. I felt smooth. You know, coming off of a big season last year, I was unsure about how this opener was going to be. You know, Paul asked me to come out just a couple weeks ago, so we didn't do a ton of tune-up work. It's just so early, but it felt great. Came out with an American record.
Exactly. You set the standard. Now, are you an advocate for 400 hurdles indoors now?
Oh, absolutely. This has got to be a staple event. I need something to do inside.
I saw Dalilah Muhammad, Olympian, watching. She might need to go in it next. Are you telling all 400 hurdlers it's okay to do indoors?
Yes, absolutely. I expect to see you there next time.
Congrats on your win.
Thanks so much.
Have the events bookending either side of it.
And here is
Get
Heat
underway.
1. That's right, with the 2 South Carolina Gamecocks, with Nicole Yergin, with Aaliyah Abrams as well. And a great start here for Aaliyah Abrams, the World Athletics Indoor Championship finalist, running in lane 6.
And unfortunately, that looked like Stephanie Davis just pulled up in that first 100 meters or so with a hamstring pull.
And now Yergin will make a strong push running in lane 4, the Tokyo Olympian for the United Kingdom. Off of the turn, Yergin with a step on Dunmore to the inside, and Yergin will take it through the line, 36-89, followed by Abrams in second, 37-48.
With both Garrett and Brown. Of course, Brittany Brown very comfortable with this event, having won it at the U.S. Championships back in 2019.
And there's a Kayla Garrett sandwiched between the pros with Robinson in 3 and Jody Williams on the outside in 6. And Garrett holding her own here, just trying to hang in there. But right now, Nyasha Robinson neck and neck with Jody Williams all the way there on the outside. Williams pushing off of the turn. She's going to watch Robinson run into her peripheral. Williams side by side with the American in lane 3, and Williams will have enough. The Tokyo Olympic finalist will win it in 37-24.
And my apologies, obviously, Brittany Brown was not in that race, but it looked to me as though Williams, she timed it well, but just maybe wasn't quite expecting that late charge by Robinson. Let up slightly at the line, perhaps, thinking she had it more clearly in the bag than she did. Still comes away with that win, 37-24.
All right, Nicole, congrats on your win. Tell me about how it was feeling.
It was feeling good. I wasn't expecting to tighten up that last 50, but, I pulled it through, and that means I got out hard, so I'm happy about it.
All right, what's next for you?
We're going to Arkansas next week, maybe run a 2 or a 4x4 again, so, yeah.
And how are you feeling about your training group? How do they push you?
Oh, I love my training group. This year we've been killing it. There's about 15 women in our group, a lot of 400 hurdlers, so, the training's tough, but it's paying off.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Will?
All right, thanks so much, Serenity, as we're off and running. Kashif King, Paul Dedewo, Sean Bailey, and Derek Makalang in the men's 300 Heat 1. And a great start for the 25-year-old Jamaican Sean Bailey, formerly of UTEP, a 33.03 career best for him as he pulls up. And that opens the door now for Paul Dedewo in lane number 4, the 32-year-old world indoor silver medalist back in 2018 in the 4x400, battling with Kashif King of Illinois to his inside. And the 32-year-old American will finish first. in our opening section of 2. Had to really work for that one there at the end. 33:42, the winning time. So Corinne Bartley of Puma is in 5. Obi Igbakwe of the United States is in lane 6 in our men's 300. And Igbakwe pushing hard, setting the pace there on the outside in lane number 6. Bartley running well, trying to make up some ground. You can see the head bobbing back and forth in this tough distance of 300 meters that Bartley is now starting to navigate with much more pace and strength. Pushing his way off of the turn, the grimace on his face as Bartley, stride for stride with Igbakwe, will push away and lean through the line first. 33:55, the winning time for Bartley. Johnson in 4, Charlton in 5. Clean start, and Charlton with the advantage in that neon green, lane number 5, middle of the track, side by side with Alicia Johnson. It's a close finish in our 60-meter hurdle final. And it's Alicia Johnson, 7:84, a facility and meet record in Iowa City.
So both Johnson and Charlton, a very happy Johnson you can see there, under that old record of 7.90 set last year. Great finish by both of these women, very strong through that line, but Johnson clearly thrilled.
All right, Lele. Now, you had a pretty good day. You ran the 60 earlier, and now you got a nice personal best in the 60 hurdles. Tell me about it.
The 60 was just a warm-up. We pretty much knew we weren't going to be able to run a final because of the schedule, and the first race, the prelims, that was also a warm-up. I have a lot of anxiety because of what happened last year at Worlds, so sometimes I struggle getting over the first hurdle, so I had to take a step back and get back in my body and my mind and just focus on reacting and controlling the race. For the finals, I knew that Devin was rolling. She was rolling last week, and she rolled on the prelim, so she's a great starter. I just wanted to focus on my own race, react to the gun and push. Don't try to do anything too fast. Once I got over the first hurdle, she kept moving, so I kept moving, and, just gear down and double on it. So that's what I did and came out of PB.
And you had a great year last year. What has been new for you?
Nothing. No. So I've been doing a little bit more hurdle technique. Last year we were getting so fast, but we couldn't keep up with the hurdle technique as fast as we were running. So pretty much that's it. I work a little bit with Marlon Odom, doing a little hurdle technique with him because he's an amazing hurdle technician. And other than that, me, Jordan, and Morgan are doing the same thing, being the same people, and just coming out here and having a blast.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Rollins in 5, Crittenden in 6. A great battle renewed from the prelim round. Crittenden, so far so good for him. There's Dixon on the inside. Douglas was there too. Did Michael Dixon have enough right at the end to take it? We wait for the official time. And this one was awfully close. And the first name that pops up is Freddie Crittenden, 7:53.
And Will, and both at 7:53, which actually are both under the facility's record of 7:54 set by world record holder Aries Merritt.
Wow. It was quite literally too close to call, even by our great timers. Lewis Rollins was third in 7.6. What a fast final there. These guys just obliterating the marks they ran about an hour ago. Of lots of experienced veteran middle distance runners. We've got 8 of them ready to go, paced by Stephanie Brokaw, who will take them around. You've got Alexina Tubal from the United States, Molly Sugro, Regan Yee, Olivia Howell, Holly Archer, Petronella Simiak from Romania, Michelle Howell, and Anna Vess here in this group.
And that to me actually looks like it might be Stephanie Brown leading off. I think it is Stephanie Brown with the pace. Unfortunately, we had 3 DNSs, so that's Tubal, Howell, and Howell will not be starting. But Stephanie Brown, a very experienced pacer coming off of some injury herself, and A great start to the season for her in the last couple of weeks. She'll be out setting the pace early. So a smaller field than anticipated, but several women in this field with indoor personal bests in this event in the low 4:30s. Look to see some fast times, particularly tucked in third there, Regan Yee, fellow countrywoman of mine. She's a steeplechase Tokyo Olympian, has a great story, and so do so many of the other women in this field. But as this continues to progress, I think we're going to throw down to Serenity with some interviews trackside.
Having lots of discussions down here because they ran the same time. Now, I said if you had your locks, maybe it would have been not the same. But, Michael, you said not so much. But tell me how y'all are feeling.
I'm feeling as best as you can as a loser, you know. So I tied my PR. I didn't win, but I love Freddie. He always gives the best out of me. But I haven't beat him yet, I don't think. So I'm upset. I'm upset right now.
All right, Freddie. New year, new look. What's going on?
I'm feeling good. Had a good year last year. Cut my locks off. And Michael Dixon came here. He's talking trash. He's like, "Man, you gotta wake up, old man." I was like, "I guess I gotta wake up." So I'm feeling good.
New generation, old generation. Is there beef here?
It's never beef. It's all love. But when we get on the track, he's not my friend. I want him. And what I've noticed since being right here is he has more chest hair than me. So if I had better chest hair, that's 750 right there. 750.
Well, you heard it here first. Again, Will, the athletes are getting more hyper as the events are going on. But back to you.
That's the angriest I've heard someone after they take the world lead right there, Kate. As we get back to the track, and Regan Yee, the Canadian national champion back in 2021 in the steeplechase, has made her way to the front.
Yeah, they went through that 800 meters in 2:17 flat, so right on just about 4:34 pace, facility record 4:35.48 set last year, but Regan looks really good at the moment. And, you know, she's got that strength in the steeplechase. She's been to the World Championships in cross country. She's being hunted by the moment by Molly Sugro. Both of these athletes with 4:33 and change personal bests indoors over the last couple of years. And they've now created some distance between them and Holly Archer behind. Regan looking really strong at the moment. She's an excellent indoor racer, but Sugro not willing to let her go.
Sugro, 27-year-old former Oklahoma State runner, a 4:33.0 indoor mile personal best. Regan Yee ran her indoor mile PB back in 2018, 4:33.43, and through 1,209 meters, 3:24.99 and 3:25.23. Therefore, Yee and Sugro, followed by Simiak and Archer.
Yee is a gutsy runner. She likes running at the front. I'm just curious if Sugro is kind of timing this to shotgun around her, although at the moment, Yee looking pretty strong. Coming up with just a lap to go as Sugro swings wide, looking as though she might threaten for a move, and she does, heading in with that bell.
Side by side, Sugro perfectly timing that push and getting the inside track. 3:59.07, 3:59.08 with one trip around the track left here in Iowa City. Sugro followed by Yee, and Sugro may have just done this at the perfect moment to try to snatch victory away from the Canadian national champion over the steeple barriers, but not quite yet. Here comes Regan Yee, and Regan Yee will win it, taking the tape at the line.
What a finish! And a fabulous time right around that 4:30 mark, 4:30.46, 4:30.89 for Sugro. These women pushed themselves and each other to an incredibly fast time. That's a 5-second plus improvement on the facility and meet record. And what an early season mark, 4:30 on the button.
A terrific start for Regan Yee, 4:30.46. The final 400 you've got McAvoy, who you mentioned from Tulsa, the sophomore from Ireland, conference-winning DMR member in the American Conference for Tulsa. Jack Myers, Scott Beatty, Evan Bishop, Cormac Dalton, Bob Liking, Ryan Harvey, Michael Power, Isaac Akers, Christian Baker, Rowan Ellenberg, and the talented Wisconsin Badger Adam Spencer. 1 mile here for these collegiate men who get started here tonight in Iowa City.
And we should mention that Scott Beatty, wearing hip number 3, was the victor last night in that 3,000 meter. Again, running under the facility record, ran 7:50.10. Shea McAvoy, as I mentioned, tucked in second at the moment behind the pace setter. He paced last night, so having a little role reversal tonight. I'm sure enjoying following someone else for a change. And then again, keep your eye on Michael Power, who was second last night in that 3,000, Isaac Akers, who was third, and Cormac Dalton, who was fourth.
And that is Benjamin Nibelink of Wisconsin, who is setting the pace here out front with a sea of Golden Hurricanes right behind him, representing Tulsa. Let's go downstairs again to Serenity.
All right, Regan, you ran a fast one today. Tell me about what was your race strategy?
Well, it's just a season opener, so I wasn't quite sure where I was at. So my coach said just come out here and run hard.
And you ran hard, but you opened with the personal best. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I've switched up my training group. So this is my first race with under my new coach. So I think it bodes well for the rest of the season.
What are you going to do to celebrate?
Probably go to sleep early so I can do my long run in the morning.
How long is the run?
Probably 12 miles, but actually I have 8x800 after this, which I forgot about until just this second. So.
This is distance for you guys. This is insane, but congrats.
Thank you so much.
Will?
Yeah, Kate, there is nothing that hits harder than that post-race workout after the opener when you still got to get that volume in.
I'm sorry, did she say 8x800?
8x800. Early season openers right there. The best of the best.
Well, again, a distance athlete through and through. Really great to see such a fast time and personal best in the mile. And we hope that she's able to get through that workout okay. But this men's mile continuing to prove very exciting. Our pacer has stepped off. They opened their first quarter in 60 seconds flat. So right on that 4-minute pace, although they seem to have slowed a little. 2 minutes, 7:09 through 800. So continuing to keep that sort of 60-second quarter pace going. But this third quarter is where things can really fall apart. You really need to not fall asleep at the wheel. Let that pace slow too much. We saw Regan come through with that 65-second final quarter in the women's side, and the men are going to have to keep the foot on the pedal if they want to be rewarded with anything close to that 4-minute mark.
There's Michael Power wearing hip number 8, pushing his way towards the front group. Power broke 4 last weekend at Arkansas, running 3:58 for second over there in Fayetteville. 6th at NCAA Outdoors last spring in the 5K, dropping down to a mile, having some success over these first few weeks of the indoor season. McAvoy out in front representing Tulsa. You've got Power in there. There's Jake Gillum, who's competing unattached here with 2 to go at 3:02.88. Anybody's race, but Tulsa, the advantage here in this one between the Golden Hurricanes and the Badgers. Here is the bell, and it's all the sophomore from Ireland, Shea McAvoy, dropping under 30 seconds, 29:52 there on that last 200. And he's going to be pushed here all the way by Jake Gillum at 3:32 right on his heels. Can we get somebody under 4 minutes in these last 100 meters? Going to be tight. Joining them is Isaac Akers swinging around the outside. Does Akers have enough speed? To the line they sprint, and Akers, the perfect move for the win.
And right on just over that 4-minute mark, 4:01.14 for Akers. Another perfectly timed finish. Looked like he was out of it with about 100 meters to go, but used his strength to come back, just as we saw with Yi in the women's heat. Swinging wide, he was third last night in the 3,000 in the new meet record, so really great double for him. This is showing some of the strength that these Tulsa men have from that cross-country season.
Of Indian Hills in 4, Murphy in 5, Takadine Hideli, the Algerian in 6, paced by Eric Sowinski. Rob Heppenstall, the Canadian, is in there too. 2:16.16 the mark as these men take aim, led by Murphy.
So they'll stay in their lanes for the first 3 turns and then cut in. You'll see them cut into lane 1 coming off of this bend, heading into the home stretch on this first lap. And you can tell they're running fast when the pacer, Eric Sowinski, is having a hard time getting to the front. Opening lap of 26:04 there.
And it's Takadine Hideli, the Algerian, right behind Sowinski. Daniel Nixon, Clayton Murphy in there too. Murphy hugging the inside lane in that green Nike singlet there in lane number 1. An outdoor 1,000 best for Murphy of 2:15.73. His indoor best he ran back in 2017 of 2:18.6.
So 54.15, Sawinski leads the group through that opening 400 meters. And the field right on him. Murphy tucked in third there. He's in a great spot, just conserving as much energy as possible. He's got Hideli ahead of him. He's a tall figure, kind of creating some windbreak for him. Sawinski looking around. He might be pulling off here. He's done his job 600 meters in. And that split was 122.96. They'll have to keep pushing here.
So Sawinski steps off, leaving Hideli, Murphy, Nixon, and Harrison, your leaders. Murphy right there in the outside shoulder, running just a little bit of extra distance right around the Algerian Hideli, who has been on the international stage now for a decade, since 2013, as a talented youth athlete. An NCAA All-American at Texas Tech, but with 1 to go, Clayton Murphy will make his move, taking aim at 2:16.16, trying to make it 2 straight years of new indoor 1,000 bests in the Puma American Track League. 152.68 was the official split, with 1 lap to go here at Iowa City, making his move. Hideli on his back. He's not going to have enough to break the American record, but what can he finish in here? Clayton Murphy won't get the record, but he will get the win.
The facility record, which was set back in 2019 by Festus Legat, another Iowa State athlete. So not the world record that we might have hoped for, but I think, that the times were just sort of indicating that, and I almost wonder if Murphy, he's so experienced, made sort of a game time decision that when he saw that the pace was off a bit, he thought, I'm going to go for the win. I'm going to try to come across, season opener with a really good performance and get some of that prize money instead of, pushing myself too hard, knowing that the record was out of reach at that point.
Hey, Clayton, first thoughts on how you're feeling?
I ran a really hard 1,000, so that's why we're sitting down. No, but it was great to get back in the swing of things. This facility is so cool because it's such a fast track. And this little tiny building that rocks. It doesn't take much to get it rocking, and it was rocking. It was a lot of fun. I told my coach there's not a better way to open than a great win, not feeling awesome, but still running really well.
Now tell me about your race strategy.
It was weird because I got lane 1, which was fine. And I just kind of got out well, and they kept swinging out, and I kept trying to go inside. It was kind of messy, but I just wanted to attack with 150 to go, and I felt good at 250, and made that move with a lap to go and tried to take the lead pretty hard there.
Now what's next for you?
Got a 1,500 next week in Spokane. Got some alumni DMRs at Akron. We're having some fun with some of my friends and old teammates. And then Millrose and USA. So we're going bang, 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 wrap it up and be done with indoor.
Yeah, pretty packed. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Five teams, 4x400, finishing off the Hawkeye Pro Classic. Talila Muhammad set to take the track. Anna Cockrell, Gianna Woodruff, Ashley Spencer. Big stars taking one final trip here around the track in Iowa City. And the 2 teams from Hurdle Mechanics will get the early advantage, cutting to the inside. There's Jody Williams of the International All-Stars filing in there in third.
And not unsurprisingly, some separation happening already with the first 3 teams as they head around the final bend and into the exchange zone.
And it's the 2 teams from Hurdle Mechanics, 1 and 2. There's Jody Williams making her way around as well. And it's those 3 International All-Stars and the 2 from Hurdle Mechanics running in front. Ashley Spencer, a decorated quarter miler, taking the track here wearing hip number 6 for Hurdle Mechanics. As these 2 teams of teammates battle with one another, and International All-Stars is sandwiched right there in the middle. Look at Iowa also holding their own here with the pros.
Very impressive, and again, they'll get some really good home crowd support. People are on their feet in the stands, cheering on this Iowa athlete, swinging wide, mixing it up with the pros.
You've got Stubler for Midwest Elite trying to get them back in the mix here. As swinging around to the outside, there's International All-Stars, who will have the advantage right in front of Hurdle Mechanics A and Hurdle Mechanics B. It's the Hurdle Mechanics Invitational here, 1 and 2 side by side. And you've got Hurdle Mechanics with Dalila Muhammad out in front here. International All-Stars still very much there. But the two-time world champ and two-time Olympic champ, Dalila Muhammad, pacing this field.
And I'm so impressed by the power with which the athletes behind her are running. Everyone is still in this, and a huge move now by the International All-Stars.
And International All-Stars are going to have the advantage. I believe this is Brokaw that's going to finish it up for International All-Stars, coming out of nowhere in the middle of this thing to take over.
And an enormous lead for her. This will be a tall ask of Stephanie Brokaw, formerly Brown, coming back from her pacing duties early as the field catches up with her, heading into the final lap of this very exciting 4x4. She's not letting them go by.
You've got Yergin, who was a winner earlier in the 300. They're battling for Hurdle Mechanics, but it's Hurdle Mechanics back in front once again, running 1 and 2. This is Hurdle Mechanics A in that team that was paced by Dalila Muhammad on leg number 3. The two teammates battling in the final 50 meters, and taking it home is Hurdle Mechanics 1 and 2.
This is a pretty good field. 400 hurdler, 400 hurdler, 400 hurdler, and 400 runner. But Dalila, tell me about you guys' hardest workout as a team.
Oh man, I think you'll get a different answer from each of us. Personally, I don't like our speed endurance workouts, but I think all of them probably hate our repeat 400s. Is that right?
It's the 1K.
The 1Ks.
Yes, the 1Ks. That is just the epitome of suffering and sadness.
And pain.
And pain. Okay, but
that's my favorite workout. So.
Okay, now Alexis, you are the baby of the group. You just came out of college. Tell me how these girls push you.
They're really supportive. They push me in practice every day. So I've just been trying to learn as much as I can from them. And they've been my role models, as me growing up as a young runner. So it's a blessing to be training with them on a daily basis.
And Dalila, you saw the 400 hurdles indoors go off. We saw you peaking. So will we see you in the next one?
Man, I don't know. I think that's a tough one. I don't think so. I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to leave the 400-meter hurdles to those men. They did a wonderful job, and I'll stick to the ones outside.
All right, back to you, Will.
It's Illinois, Iowa, two unattached teams of pros taking the track for one final race tonight at the Hawkeye Pro Classic. We are off and running, and the Fighting Illini will take the inside lane there in lane 3. So the two unattached teams expected to see Isaiah Jewett, who was racing here in the 600 last night, as well as C.J. Allen on that team wearing hip number 4. And a slight lead here for Illinois coming up to exchange number 1.
A big lead being eaten up now by that unattached A team at the handoff, a clean exchange. And here is Allen coming off of that American record in the 400-meter indoor hurdles. Such a powerful athlete. Look at that stride.
And Kate, I've got to be honest that I'm a little disappointed with our men's teams. They did not have as creative of nicknames as the women's teams did.
No hurdle
International All-Stars in the Midwest Elite. We just have unattached A and B, who are battling with the two Big Ten foes, Illinois and Iowa.
Yeah, but when your beard looks that good, do you need a nickname?
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Doing a great job here of holding off the charge of the athletes behind him. This is a short turnaround coming off of a 400-meter win and having to come back for this 400-meter relay, but he will be in the lead at the handoff.
And we're going to see Isaiah Jewett anchor this thing coming up here in just a moment.
Sawinski having to do some work. He's been left in the dust a little bit almost a full straightaway back from the field, and strong contest up front between unattached A and the Illinois team. The Hawkeyes not out of it.
Illinois and Iowa battling for Big Ten bragging rights in late January here, a matchup that will certainly be seen once again at the Big Ten Indoor Championships and perhaps an NCAA indoor meet. They'll battle for conference bragging rights, but right now Illinois is trying to take down the pros. Final leg of what has been a great night of competition. Illinois side by side with the unattached professional team.
And Isaiah Jewett with the advantage at the moment. He's going to be hard to beat wearing those glasses. You talked about the light in here. He is not taking any risks, looking cool as a cucumber as he continues to extend the lead over Illinois, coming in for the penultimate time to this straightaway.
The former NCAA All-American Isaiah Jewett trying to take down the current NCAA competitors, Illinois and Iowa, right behind him. And look at Iowa making a big push right there, trying to catch up with the Fighting Illini and defend their home turf, but nobody is going to catch Isaiah Jewett like a gazelle into the final straightaway, coasting home for the final win of the night, followed by Illinois. In front of the home crowd, Iowa will finish third here in our men's 4x4.
And a new facility and meet record.
Isaiah, your last 4x4, 400 in general, was when you were at USC. So does it feel like you're taking a trip down memory lane a little bit?
Oh, man, yeah. I love the whole electricity with racing the 4x4. It's so much fun. And I don't get to do that often, so I had a great time, and I'm super blessed to have the opportunity.
Now, how were you able to just come back the next day after having a pretty good day yesterday?
I came back because I knew that I wanted to get better. I came out here wanting to get stronger and faster, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to compete.
All right, congrats.
Thank you so much.